Drama Spot Reviews. Hello, fellow drama lovers, and welcome to Drama Spot, your new favorite destination for reviews of the hottest drama series. I have so many thoughts, so let's get into it. Episode 1, I'm calling it Ego. The main characters of Meh. First, we're introduced to Zaid, looking very handsome, standing at the bow of the yacht, deep in thought, sharing his inner thoughts with us about the differences between self-esteem and ego. This is why I called episode 1 Ego. Zaid projects an air of wealth, class, sophistication. He definitely seems to be single. However, he is interested, surprisingly, in a middle-class girl named Aira. Well, I guess we shouldn't be all so surprised, right? Because why do we watch these but for the drama? So you know the class difference is going to bring some drama. This is Ayeza. This is the girl that's captured Zaid's heart. And she's apparently smart. She finished a master's degree in economics, which couldn't have been easy. And she seems to be simple. I mean, I judge that just based on her appearance. She's also direct and seems to be very headstrong. Now, although she has captured Zaid's heart, is she stringing him along? It seems like he's willing to meet her family, but she's not ready for that yet. I wonder why. He seems like a catch to me. Tell me what your take on this is in the comments. Oh, Madam Mubashira, the lady of the hour. I know what I'm about to say will be highly unpopular, and you can tell me in the comments, but I am fairly certain she is going to turn out to be my favorite, most entertaining character of this series. Mubashira, also known as MJ by Zaid, we'll put a pin in that for later. She is obviously very attractive, wealthy woman, but boy does she have a mouth on her and is not afraid to express what she's thinking and how she's feeling on any particular issue. If she had a Real Housewives tagline, it would probably be, "This is my world and you're all just living in it." Shouldn't be surprising to anyone, but Mubashira is married. Obviously, she's definitely, a catch just based on wealth and beauty. And boy, oh boy, do I feel sorry for that man. The line of the night obviously came from the woman of the hour, Mubashira, when her husband asked her, "What about me was it that you had liked?" She tells her husband, Mohib, that what she liked was the fact that she thought that he would be the guy who would support her in her every decision and would do every compromise that she needed. Now, this is Mr. Mohib, Mubashira's husband, the man who is fortunate and lucky enough to have her on his arm. However, he can't seem to do anything to please her. From what we've seen so far, he seems to be a pretty easygoing guy. Doesn't seem to care too much about material things. And he's definitely wealthy. I mean, he would have to be to catch a woman like Mubashira. He definitely seems to be very patient with her. He's definitely gives me the vibes of a people pleaser. Like it's his aim in life to make this woman happy, although he knows that's like an impossible task. Initially, I thought he was going to be the most sympathetic character of this series, but he's slowly losing favor with me because what he did to Mubashira and when he decided to do it was not cool. I get that you're not happy, but there's a time and place for everything, and the anniversary party definitely was not the time. This is Kashmala. She is the baby sister to Zaid. We don't know much about her at this point. Looks like she is applying to universities at this point. Seems to be a very nice, innocent girl, carefree, wealthy. Not much that she has to worry about in this world because her father and her brother will take care of it. Kashmala definitely has to be single, and I'm suspecting that the most obvious thing would be for her storyline to come from an impending marriage. And it looks like we have a suitor laying in the wings with the way that Rayyan was looking at her when he pulled up to the wedding. Sorry, I just caught myself, realized that I called the anniversary party a wedding, but I'm sure that you guys would agree with me, right? That this did not look like a 2-year anniversary. You would have thought at a minimum they'd been married maybe a good 10 years, or this was their wedding with the way Mubashira went all out with decorating. We see this car pulling up and thinking maybe it's Mohib making a grand entrance, but no, it is none other than Rayyan, Mubashira's brother, aka Flyboy. That's what I'm going to call him. I don't know if anybody noticed when he gets out of the car and his jacket hits the light. It actually sparkles, and when you look at the detail, it's actually pinstriped, guys. So he definitely does care about his appearance. He projects someone who is very confident, self assured, definitely wealthy. I am assuming that he is single, but could be wrong. But seeing as how he didn't show up with anyone on his arm, we're going to say that he is single. And with the way that he looks at Kashmala when he arrives at the party, I think that that was more than just a, hey, I see you, how are you doing? And more of a, hey, you're looking really good today. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I making too much of the eye contact towards Kashmala and the head nod? My predictions. For the first episode of any new show, I like to spend time focusing on the main characters because if we understand the characters and their motivation, it helps us along in understanding their actions, and especially when trying to make predictions about what we think is to come. My first prediction is the most obvious prediction, and that's Mohib leaving Mubashira, which definitely obvious after the way the episode ended. But I started getting this feeling during the first 10 minutes when they were in the bedroom and he was eating his breakfast. Here's the clip that I'm thinking of that brought on these feelings.
Mohib, here him matches. Mohib, तो कंपनी के CFO. थोड़ा पैसे ढंग का राइटर नहीं. अरे क्या होगा तुम्हारा? मैं ही हूँ जो तुम्हारे साथ गुजारा करिए, कोई और लड़की तो सोच भी नहीं सकती.
This was the perfect example of a self-fulfilling prophecy. This next scene is the nail in the coffin moment. I think this is where she sealed her fate with Mohib and crossed his line in the sand that she was not aware existed because she's just so self-centered.
अच्छा सुनो, तुमने वो आंटी को तो इनवाइट नहीं किया है ना? प्लीज उनको इनवाइट मत करना. तुम जानते हो ना, वो इस तरह की गैदरिंग में खुद को अनकंफर्टेबल फील करती है. फिर वो ऊट पटांग हरकतें करती है, मुझे एम्बैरेस फील कराती है. तुम समझ रहे हो ना?
सब समझ रहा हूँ बचरा. Don't worry. सब तुम्हारे लिए आसी हो. Bye.
This was the moment when Mohib finally saw past her beauty past the brains that everyone supposedly says she has and saw her for who she truly was. I mean, how dare you speak of anyone's mother like that? Let alone your mother-in-law, who your husband is obviously close with. I mean, I could feel that from when he entered his mother's house. His interaction with his mother also made me question whether they come from a lower to middle class background and he is a self-made man. Because of the comments such as, I got you all of these servants, you're still doing all of the work. So that makes me think that she's not used to having the servants and the wealth and is used to doing things on her own. I really hope that he's not from a lower middle class background, because that is going to be the thing that her family is going to point to and hold on to due to his poor choice of timing. But the thing that he has working in his favor is that her father and brother are under no illusions about who she is and were surprised that she even got married because they didn't think that she could live with a man. For my second prediction, it's around Zaid and Aira's marriage. It's definitely going to be opposed, I'm presuming. And I'm not sure, though, about the outcome. I'm not sure if they're just not going to get married or if they're going to get married but have so many issues and find out that they're not compatible, or if they get married but he takes on a second wife who would be Mubashira, or vice versa. He's forced to marry Mubashira because of her circumstances and then takes Aira as the second wife. And we know how much fun that would be. Personally, that's my preferred outcome for this show. What would be your preferred outcome? Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know if you were thinking along the same lines as me. For my third prediction, I can just feel that Rayyan wants to marry Kashmala, and that's going to be a major plot line. I'm not letting go of the way that he acknowledged her at the anniversary party, guys. For the fourth prediction, I know I did not cover her as a main character, but Hina. Hina is Mubashira's best friend, and I'm not sure if she's married or not, because wouldn't it be great if she was unmarried and Mohib decided to marry her? That would be the proverbial icing on the cake. Since we're speaking about henna, let me know below in the comments if anybody noticed henna at the anniversary party. Feel like I didn't see her. I saw the group of women, but I don't think she was amongst them. The last item on my predictions list is, I think, more the moral of the story and the lesson that's to be learned from this latest serial. And it is, no matter who Mubashira marries, she will never be satisfied. It will take her losing everything to realize her faults and mistakes. Think she's capable of that? Let me know in the comments. As I'm reading this, I'm realizing that I am forgetting the most obvious thing, and that episode opens up with Zaid talking about, the difference between self-esteem and ego. And what if it's really about him, guys? Like, I'm thinking that he is going to completely changed from the guy that we see at the beginning of this show to a whole nother person. Probably a bitter person. What do you think? Now let's get into some of my burning questions. So, 1, SK. Who the heck is SK? He definitely has history with Mubashira. They're definitely familiar with each other. I want to know if he's going to be a major part of the story or if he was just someone who just piqued our curiosity. Honestly, I'm hoping we get to see a little more of him. For my second burning question, I need to know more about the history between Zaid and Mubashira. There is something there that is more than just them knowing each other because their parents are childhood friends and business partners. It struck me when Zaid called Mubashira MJ. No one else had called her MJ up to this point. So this tells me that there's a level of familiarity there and comfort. I also noticed the conversation between the two of them where Mubashira says that at least there's someone who thinks a bit like me. And that's saying a lot because she puts herself on a pedestal. She thinks very highly of herself. And for her to put Zayad on her level, that's a big deal. For my final burning question coming out of episode 1, I need to know why Aira does not want to introduce Zayad or let Zayad talk to her brother about them getting married. I'm wondering if some of the things that she said to the suitor and his mother were true, being that she doesn't really want to multitask. She wants to work for a couple of years, see how that feels, and then after that, possibly get married. So I'm wondering if there's some truth hidden behind the game that she played with the suitor. I'm concerned for Ira because she can think that time and youth are on her side and that there are endless suitors and that Zayad would always be there. But that may not be the case at the end of the day. She may live to regret some of her decisions, but as we've seen, she is very strong willed. So far, episode number 1 has done a great job of getting me hooked, and I am looking forward to watching episode number 2 to see how the story unfolds, especially what Mohib has to say for himself, because I can't imagine how Mubashira is going to react. For those, if you can't tell, I do not speak Urdu, so please feel free to leave comments and helping me learn how to pronounce their names. If you could give me the phonetic spellings, I'll try to sound it out and make sure that I'm saying their names correctly. And I just look forward to connecting with you all and seeing how this story unfolds. Thank you for watching. Drama lover, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching Drama Spot Reviews.